and not make terrible choices like trusting someone not to abduct us on a date. How is that our fault? Literally, I'm sorry, I'm confused. How is that your fault? I literally don't know. Anytime I've been in a situation like this where it's like, oh, you know, I get shaken up because of a situation like that. The first thing I do is obviously tell someone. And the first thing they do is say, well, why did you do that? Well, why did you wear that? Don't put yourself in these situations. You're asking for it. Sweetie, we ain't asking for... Well, you know, we shouldn't even have to ask to feel safe, but apparently we do. Guess it's time to tell you all about cat bones. Throw away because this story makes me identifiable in real life. Me and my friend were drinking Shibuya when we decided to sink to a new low and go to Gas Panic, a hive of scum and villainy, a tiny disgusting club disguised as a bar that required you to go buy a drink on entry, with amazing deals like 1,000 yen Smirnoff Ice, infamous for never checking ID, and the signature syrupy grime layered on the floor. There we met two girls who was much younger, maybe 21, and convinced her older co-worker to come for a girls' night. The younger one immediately plants her butt on me and offers me a swig from a metal flask of whiskey that she apparently carries on her at all times. The older co-worker looked about as appropriately dressed as one should being in Gas Panic. I was actually much more interested in the older one, so I pivoted away from Flask Girl and talked to her. I found out she just turned 31, she was really sad about it for some reason, so her friend took her out to show her that she still got it or something. I don't know. Seemed pretty old to me at the time, but I don't really care about age much. Well, my friend was interested in the younger one and I was interested in the older one, so when they asked us to go to the club, TK lol, we went with it. But first, Flask Girl wanted to pound some juice box sake. I'd never done that before, so me and my friend got completely ripped. Flask Girl seemed annoyed that I rejected her for an older but cuter co-worker and was flirty with me all night, which seemed to make her friend even more glum. Next weekend, I messaged the older one to hang out. I suggest pizza and a movie. She immediately offers to host at her place. Awesome. So her apartment is in a location that is about as inaka as you can get while still being in Tokyo, completely in the middle of nowhere. It took me like an hour to get there. She meets me at the station with an umbrella and we walk 20 minutes in the rain to her place, which has this creepy shrine on the same street that she claps and bows to before we go in. When we enter, I immediately regret all of my life choices that led up to this moment. Every, and I mean every surface was stacked with layers of garbage, clothing, toys, and junk. The place smelled like someone sprayed Febreze into a rancid dumpster. The bed, too, was absolutely covered in stacks of books and wrappers. Saying that she had a hoarding problem would be putting it mildly. There was no last train. This is my life now. She apologizes that it's a little messy, and I lie and say it's not bad. I immediately start clearing a space to sit on the chair, and we start eating the pizza. After talking a bit, things were getting awkward because she kept asking me if I was messaging her friend. I wasn't, and how often I came into girls' houses like this, shamefully often at the time, but I didn't say that. She asked me if I'm interested in having a girlfriend, and after seeing her apartment, I decided I didn't want to give her any false hope, and I say no. I'm not looking for any long-term relationships at the moment. It's getting even more awkward, so I asked her to watch a movie, and she said, first, let's read our fortunes. Okay. I'd forgotten the word for fortune telling in Japanese, so I just agreed to it without knowing what I was getting myself into. She pulls out a thick horoscope book and starts asking me for my information and flipping through the pages. There's something about her voice that seems a bit unhinged, and she says, I found you. It says here you are a butterfly. You go from one pretty flower to the next, take what you want, and leave. I say, that's strange. I don't get what she means, and who really believes in these things anyway? So about that movie, and she interrupts, is that true? Are you a butterfly? You're a butterfly, aren't you? Butterfly, butterfly. And then she starts bawling her eyes out. Wait, what? I'm trying my best to console her for like an hour, but she's not having it. Eventually, I'm like, do you think I should go? And she doesn't give me an answer, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go now. I walk out in the freezing rain with no umbrella looking for a hotel or net cafe, but there's absolutely nothing. I walk around for like an hour with my phone dying and decide to give up and just wait until the train station opens. I get a phone call from her asking where I am, and being cold and tired, I let her come get me. She's acting like nothing happened. We get back to her place and I say, let's sleep, okay? And I start cleaning, excavating her bed. And eventually I get to a box under her pillow and says, wait, don't move that. I keep it under my pillow for good luck. I ask her what it is and she explains that it's bones from her pet cat that passed away! Ah! Stop it! WTF, I'm pretty freaked out, but what can I do? So that night, I slept on some cat bones. And I wish I could say no, I would never sink that low, but yes, we did. Oh no, you did on the cat bones, buddy! The cat bones! And the next morning I fluttered away and never saw her again. You just had to, didn't you? Oh God, cat bones. Dude, I kept thinking that maybe she would like rob you or something. Dated a guy who was arrested on our date by detectives. He tried to return a pair of fake Gucci sunglasses. When the store clerk threatened to call police, he flashed an FBI badge to the clerk. Turns out they got him on tape flashing what was actually his brother-in-law's FBI business card. The card has an FBI hologram about 3 inches by 5 inches in size, so it could pass as being legit on glance. Did I mention he was the school principal for a reputable Catholic school in my area? Story made headlines and all. And most recently, I received stage 5 clinger psycho text messages, pics included. Met this guy on Match.com, spoke to him maybe 3 or 4 times. He seemed legit until he called 15 minutes before our coffee date explaining he got into a car accident. I felt horrible since he was driving to see me. He insisted we meet up the next day. Guy starts talking about taking Xanax and he'll be fine. Being in recovery, it would be dangerous to date someone like him, strung out lawyer. So I let him down over the text message. Background, I'm a live-in caretaker for an elderly woman during the week, plus own a small biz I run on the weekends. Canceling for tomorrow, not interested in rescheduling. Wow, some lady you are, a real catch. Aw, thank you, very sweet. Thank you for understanding. Secret number 1, yesterday was all a lie. I decided against meeting you. I made up the story and sent old photos of the car. I was purposely going to stand you up. I'm so perceptive, I sensed you were a super self-absorbed, self-centered person, and people like you don't take care of the elderly. I know you are lying about that. Makes no sense. I was thinking you are married. Only explanation. Funny, I should always trust my instincts. So good riddance, shorty. I just canceled my online profile because it's chock full of psychos like you. Curious why you wasted your own time to sell yourself online, then waste it again by doing this. Toilet manners. Ask yourself this. Do you genuinely think you could have a man of my caliber look in your direction again? Seriously? News, you're a 5 at best. They always resort to calling us ugly, don't they? I mean, you didn't think I was so ugly before. I don't mean 5 feet. I think you are insecure around me. You recognize I'm a total package. Stay in your league, Miss Mediocre. Do the world a favor and unalive yourself. I don't know why I ever talk to you. Don't text me again. I'll pray for you. God bless. You look quite old for age 32 also. Are you lying about that too? This is a guy that's been ghosted a few too many times, and he is finally getting a response from someone who straight up told him that she's not interested. And yet, instead of just moving on, he took it really personally. Honestly, this is why a lot of people ghost, because the egos. There's so much ghosting going on that when somebody gives you a real answer as to why they're not interested in you, you just get, it's like the trauma just projects outward. It projectile vomits outward. Met a guy for a walk and talk through my favorite park. We had a nice vibe online and I had hopes we'd have at least a good time even if we weren't attracted. He was completely bizarre. Spent a lot of time trying to get me to believe that he was some sort of psychic or wizard with magic powers. Asked for a ride to a bus station from the park. I had no idea he had driven himself there and suddenly had to pee during the 5-minute drive, wet his pants before getting out of the car. All right, should I share one of my dating horror stories? It was my birthday, and I had decided to, go to my ex's house. And, he invited me to stay over. And then I changed my mind at the last second. I decided, I'm not gonna go through with this. I'm gonna go home and have like a good night's sleep. I wake up in the morning the next day to a text from him that says that he pissed the bed. The bed that I was supposed to be sleeping in with him that night. Let's just say I dodged that bullet. I could have woken up in a pool of pee, but something told me, don't do this right now. I didn't think it would be because he pissed the bed, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna say that I had an instinct. There was piss afoot. Date with a Navy guy. There are a few stories I'd love to tell that unfortunately involve Redditors, but here's one that doesn't. Went on a date with a Navy boy. He seems smart and sweet online. He picks me up in this incredibly ostentatious yellow Camaro, which I have the sneaking suspicion he borrowed, as it was a stick and dude was having a hell of a time driving it. We decided to go walk on the boardwalk for a while, so he pulls into a parking garage. In his attempt to park the car, he completely sideswipes the car next to us, leaving